It's 6:47 on a Wednesday morning. You are watching the Now Morning Show, and I'm Ainka. I am excited this morning because you know we Trinis, we like salt, we and everything. And I will be speaking to one such Trini who probably is pretty familiar with salt, as he is representing us proudly as one of the persons vying for the spot as the next level chef on Fox's network. Joining me this morning all the way from the US of A is Reuel Vincent. Good morning, Mr. Vincent.
Good morning, good morning.
I don't know if I should be like Reuel, because you know, Trinbagonians, we be very casual, or if I should be more formal. Which would you prefer?
Reuel is fine.
Reuel is fine. Now, for those who have been seeing the little tidbits, everybody know Trini is out there repping, but really and truly, you would be representing with Trini roots, and I'm hoping that that is reflected in your culinary combat, if you will. Tell me about the experience on Next Level Chef.
I mean, Next Level Chef is a show that is very new. Concept is a little bit crazy. It really tests your culinary skills in terms of thinking on the fly, getting ingredients, and time management.
Okay.
Did my best to represent Trinidad as best as possible because, as you know, home cooking takes more than 45 minutes.
I'm glad you know.
Especially when it comes to developing flavor or anything in the Caribbean. So for this one, it's more like little tidbits that you have to like slip in and make sure you actually grab the culture as a whole as best as possible within the time frame.
Right. Now, I got a sliver rather of an episode where you were challenged by potted meat. And I remember you saying, I've never worked with this before. And I'm like, you sure you're from the Caribbean? We do all sorts of potted meat. What do you mean? But I wanted to ask, what was probably the most comfortable ingredient, surprise ingredient for you?
Well, so far, honestly speaking, would probably be the red cap. The potted meat, to be honest, I was like, you know what? I'm about to treat this like corned beef. 110%.
See?
The only difference is that it was pressed, so it didn't have a crumble effect on it. So I had to figure out, you know what flavors actually work with that. So for us, it'll be corned beef and rice and sometimes cabbage. So for me, I had to go with either kale or the celery root, flavors that were a little bit more earthy that actually complemented it.
I'm learning things, taking notes as you speak. Now, you said one of the things that stood out to me was that you said you come for blood. You intend to go hard and you want to stand out. And I thought to myself, well, in the world of food, there's so many different ways you can do that because food, culture, and little parts of the world can be, you know, plugged in. What do you think is your specific, most outstanding feature in the culinary world, of course?
I take the position of the ones who took the harder road and wasn't really culinarily trained.
Right. Interesting that you say that, because you are actually on Team Ramsay, and you said you would have done all of your YouTube University learning through his videos as well. So professionally or formally trained, you are not, but you definitely learned from the University of YouTube, right?
100%. I mean, sometimes we're not afforded certain blessings in terms of like money to go to culinary school.
Right.
So as a Trini, basically half of the stuff we know as well is based off of trade. So you treat it the same way, self-educate.
Nice.
And when you do that, you push yourself to certain limits you wouldn't expect yourself to, you know, go beyond. So learning from the University of YouTube, which is the internet, finding resources to actually hold water per se within this industry is something that you really have to like, you know, push. So that's my angle on this.
Beautiful. And you know, I have to ask you, as part of team, well, Mr. Coswood himself, did you try any sort of Trini cusses on him and like have a little cuss out? Did that happen yet? No? Will we see that in this season?
They only allow me one cuss word, and that's when I got the apron. Only one. So
Which
far.
did you go with? Did you go standard or did you go full Trini?
I mean, sometimes you have to stay with your roots, but I mean, I have to beat that up.
I love it. I love it. One of the things that I always like about Gordon Ramsay is that as much as he is a cuss word and he is going to give you that push that takes you, as you said, beyond the limits that you thought you had, he also is very, very sweet and very nurturing. So perhaps would you mind sharing with us one of the more, well, intimate, softer moments that you're probably going to take with you forever?
Um, Honestly, it definitely had to be from episode 2 while he was on my station and I was shaking a little bit. Little pieces got edited out, but he was like, you know what, just relax, take your time. In my mind, I was like, just relax, you breathing down my neck at this point in time. Like, how could I?
Right.
And um, little coaching moments was like, take a deep breath, slow it down. There's nothing different. You're just cooking. And then you're trying to literally take everything in, like lights, cameras,
Mm-hmm.
and to hear that voice that says, okay, just take it down a notch. You have this. This is something you do on the regular.
Hmm.
Just this is the time to execute. So
I
that's
mean,
something I'll always take back with me.
beautiful. You do have it. I'm just letting you know. You have the whole Caribbean in your back pocket, and you do have it. More than a decade of actual experience is going to be shown as the episodes continue to unfurl. I know there's not much that you can tell us, but I'm still going to ask those questions and try to find out. As much as you are part of a team as well, what has that experience been like? Because competition is competition, but that dynamic of having to work with a team in these time limits, in these exciting and challenges, or rather these exciting challenges, must have their own impact on you. So what is that part of the experience like?
Um, Teamwork is basically like a kitchen. Everybody has a role to play. But to be honest, you need to have a leader. So I kind of put myself in that position
Beautiful.
where I'm used to running a kitchen and playing everybody's strengths and make sure each time that I have a dish that can stand on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully everybody else within the team does the same. But once you bring a certain type of energy in the room, that uplifts everybody because now they're looking at you as a professional. They're looking for you for advice, and you're there as like a mini mentor because you have other mentors that are there for that show. And it's like the coach, hey, I think you need to check on X, Y, and Z. Make sure you season. So yeah, that basically that's it for that.
Well, there's nothing mini about you. No mini mentors at all. But I want you to tell the people looking on, Trinbagonians alike, the Caribbean, everybody across the diaspora, and persons who may have culinary aspirations but be a little doubtful or hesitant to embark upon it. If you had 3 things that you can tell them to do to make their dreams come true, what would those 3 things be?
Um, Knowledge is free. You just have to look for it. Second advice, the road less traveled is the one most rewarding.
Mm.
And the third one I would probably say is that when you find something you love, indulge.
Mm.
Be infatuated with it. Fall in love with it. Make sure it's your everything. So when you put your all in it, you know your soul, your mind, your body, your heart is in it. And always press forward. Things are not going to be easy, but hard work isn't.
Beautiful. Next Level Chef is airing on Fox, and we will be catching episodes in between, checking up with you online, and hopefully talking to you soon when you come home to bubble up what's a pilau and we lime. Yeah?
Appreciate
For
it.
now, though, how do we find you on the gram, online, elsewhere, and what is next? Where do we find you after?
Um, well, I have an Instagram. It's my name, Reuel Vincent. At this point in time, honestly speaking, I am at the World Trade Center. I work for Aspire, so that's the top of the World Trade Center. I take care of all VIP events that are up there. Took care of basically some big names like Rock Nation Brunch, Mont Blanc, Harlem Fashion Show, bunch of other stuff. So if you're ever looking for me, it will be at the top of the World Trade Center.
We know where to find you. Stay safe, sanitize and physically distance, and best of luck in the competition. Thank you very much for flying our flag high, and you continue to do you.
Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Reuel Vincent is how we're taking a break. Hopefully he bubble up hot and send it via FedEx. But for now, the Now Morning Show will return.